The best figure of the year is here. Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is the place on the Internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. If you watch the channel, you notice I wear this hoodie a lot, and it is a Junkyard Joe hoodie from Ghost Machine. It is one of my favorite publishers, created by Jeff Johns, Francis Manapul, Jason Fabach, Pete Tomasi, Peter Schneisberg, Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, basically anyone that has been created a iconic DC comic in the last 10 to 15 years created this company. And I've loved the series, all of them, particularly Junkyard Joe, as you can tell from the hoodie. So Junkyard Joe made his first appearance in Geiger, and I've been waiting for actual figures from Ghost Machine for quite a while. I knew this was kind of coming based on some things. I did get the opportunity to interview Jeff Johns on my podcast, the Bada Boom Podcast. Shameless plug. Check that out. We've had him on twice. And also, I wanted to shout out Troy, who is my co-host on the Bada Boom Podcast, who got me this toy, which I'm about to unbox. And based on context clues, I'm sure you already know what it is. The Mezco Junkyard Joe 112 figure. I really, for years, I've really admired Mezco from afar. I once had their Punisher figure, so I'm excited for this. Again, thank you, Troy, who got me this for my birthday/Christmas gift. So he's the man. Check him out. He has his own music channel, Blue Sirens. And obviously check out our podcast, the Bada Boom Podcast, where we've interviewed a lot of creators, especially Ghost Machine ones. So I'm going to unbox this, and we're going to see what it's about. Some black bubble wrap. We've got this Mezco. What is this? A micro Mezkits. I've never seen these before. Probably, if you're a Mezco fan, you've probably seen stuff like that before. I don't see an invoice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The box art is amazing. You've got the Ghost Machine logo. Let me take it off. Yeah, that's dope. That is dope. So the art is from Gary Frank. The color is by Brad Anderson. The art on it is from Junkyard Joe issue 1. It's a 6-issue miniseries, which I think is Ghost Machine's best series. The hardcover is coming out soon, so if you haven't read that book, you can pick up the trade now. The hardcover is coming out soon, so yeah, looks pretty dope. And let's jump into it. Let's open it up. Let's see what it's about. For me, I'm not a big toy guy, so if you're looking for like articulation and stuff like that, I'm just not your guy. This is kind of, I only buy what I really like. If you look behind me, I have some figures and some toys, but I keep them in the box. I really admire like really good ones, and I have a really kind of like an addictive personality, so I try not to get into them too much. So I'm glad Troy got me this, because it would send me down a rabbit hole if I was buying it for myself, and I would just buy so much more. So yeah, let's open it up. All right, so here we have the Junkyard Joe 112 collective, the first action figure from Ghost Machine. It's huge, epic. Ever since I saw previews of it, I've been excited for it. At New York Comic Con this year, they had it display at the Ghost Machine booth, which was really frustrating because I already had a pre-order, and the one that they were selling there, you could grab it immediately and it was signed by all the creators. But you know, to sort of fix that, I got the first issue of Junkyard Joe, the special edition, the black and white veterans, signed by Gary Frank, Jeff Johns, Rob Lee, and Brad Anderson. So that's pretty cool. And then if you look behind that, I have the Hyde Street ashcan that was signed by the Ghost Machine team. So I think I made out pretty good when it comes to Ghost Machine stuff at New York Comic Con, so I wasn't too upset about getting Junkyard Joe a little early. But again, you have this great art by Gary Frank and Brad Anderson. The colors look fantastic. I think Mezco did a really good job of putting it on the box. The print is pretty awesome. Like the letters right here are a little bit raised. Like you got those awesome details. And again, you have to read this book. The art is amazing. You could see sort of the colors that are brought to life by Brad Anderson, the eyes from Gary Frank. Just awesome, awesome stuff. Let's open it up. Ooh. There you go. Some instructions. Pretty cool. I'll throw that in the garbage. And there he is. You can't really see him, so I'm just going to open him up a little bit, pose him, and then we'll go through some of the little details. There he is in all his glory. Junkyard Joe, the greatest Ghost Machine character of all time. There's no debate. He's the GOAT. Like I said, I love this character. Mezco did a really good job of getting all these really cool details. I love the fabric. You got the dog tags there. If you look really close, you can see the Joseph, obviously Junkyard Joe, Army. The boots are pretty dope. You've got like this. It looks really distressed, so obviously he's been going through the mud. Vietnam, there's a lot of wear on the fabric here. I really love the helmet. You're definitely getting Full Metal Jacket vibes. And I think besides the fantastic story of what Junkyard Joe is, really the draw is Gary Frank and Brett Anderson's art. Just the way they're able to bring to life Joe, despite it being him being a character that doesn't speak, doesn't have actual eyes. And let's look at that. I think they did a fantastic job of getting the eyes right, which are sort of the most important thing, I would say, with bringing this figure to the market, because that's really sort of what sells it. You know, Junkyard Joe as a character, you're able to leave your own impression on the character because he doesn't speak, because he doesn't have actual human eyes. So that aspect of the character is really important. And like I said, I like the helmet. It's got those Full Metal Jacket vibes. You see the detail. You know, he's not particularly like flexible, but you know, he's a robot. You know, he could do a flip, I guess. Yeah, it's dope, and there's some great accessories that come with it that we'll go through and stuff like that. But just as is, out of the box, you know, I put on the helmet, the dog tags, and you have this gun holster right here. But there's some great accessories that come along with it as well. So here you have the Junkyard Joe stand. This is what they were actually selling signed at the New York Comic Con Ghost Machine booth along with Midtown Comics. A little upset I didn't get that, but next convention, if I see the Ghost Machine crew, I'm definitely going to get this signed. It's great with the branding and the logo, which, again, best logo in the Ghost Machine universe. And then you have cool things like this. You also have his weapons. Honestly, Joe, through most of the book, is using his fist because he's a powerful robot, especially in the Geiger series. But hey, every once in a while, you need your gun, and then you also need your muzzle flashes. And there's also a bunch of little trinkets right here. You have a water canteen, you know, a cup, some grenades, ammo, his service weapons, some knives, so you could really go to war. One thing I would have really liked if they had included was Junkyard Joe, one of the main characters in the book, Muddy. He creates a comic strip based on his experience with Junkyard Joe. It would have been really cool if they included, like, you know, the comic strip, or within the art of the box they had included something or some new art. That would have been really cool and interesting. And then it is not a figure without some hands. So you have a lot of cool, like, little hands. This one right here, I think I'm going to probably use the most, because that you can pose so that he's saluting. When I have him sort of stand up and posed in my room, my office, I'll definitely use that the most. Obviously, there's some other ones that you could use for weapons, fists, however you like. Here, he's playing some cards. And is not Vietnam without a landmine. So you also have this landmine right here.
Yeah, just look at him, man. Everything I wanted out of a Junkyard Joe figure. Again, hopefully this is the start of something new with Ghost Machine. This is their first figure. It was a huge success. It was a sellout. You can't get it at Mezco's website right now, but I'd imagine if you have a local comic shop or if you check other retailers, maybe like Big Bad Toy Store or Midtown Comics, I know they sell Mezco here in the city in New York. Just check them out and see if they were able to get the figure, because I'd imagine, I haven't been checking like eBay or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if this goes for pretty good on the resale market and the secondary market. Like I said, you can see the dog tags. He's posed right there. You can see my awesome backdrop of my Junkyard Joe #1. This kind of flipped out a little bit. I've never used a figure like this, but it doesn't feel like the best material right there in the gun holster. It doesn't really hold in right there, but I'm sure someone in the comments is going to be like, well, you idiot, you didn't snap it in right. But it feels a little awkward and janky. That would be the only like big piece of feedback I'd give. Again, I would have been fine with a Junkyard Joe statue. I love the character that much. It'll be cool to see like a plushie again of that cartoon version of him, that comic strip. And I do wish Mezco had included a little comic strip by Gary Frank. I think that would have been a nice touch, especially for big fans of the character like myself. But yeah, it's a great figure. If you can find it, I believe, how much? Well, it was a gift, but it was, I believe, $100 and something after taxes and fees, shipping. So it's pretty expensive. So it's not like a McFarlane or anything like that. So I hope that figures in the future are part of the Ghost Machine as the company grows, as the brand grows. We'll see things that are a little bit more accessible, a little bit more affordable. But honestly, this is a comic book character that's really niche right now. So I understand the fact that they had to go in this direction, but Mezco does some great work. I've had figures from them in the past. Like I said, I had that Punisher from back in the day. So they did some good work, and it looks like they were a good partner on this. But yeah. Well, let me know what you think. Did you pick up this figure? Will you be picking it up? Would you be looking out? And again, please, please, please read Junkyard Joe. He's coming back in the pages of Geiger, so the character has been living on. I hope he gets another ongoing series, and we'll see what the future holds for Junkyard Joe. Like, comment, subscribe, because Junkyard Joe told you so. Peace.